guys, I asked you on Twitter which story time you would like to see, me talking about my worst customers at work or the time that I crashed my car twice. I will be talking about my car, but today we're talking about bad customers, which means I'm gonna be digging in the bowels of my mind, dragging up things that I've purposely tried to forget because they scarred me so much. So I've worked many jobs in my life. Sorry, I was just terrified. And I've had weird customers at all of them, but I'm gonna focus on the job that I spent 3 years at. Before I get started, I wanna talk about the manager at my first job. Shouts out. Not gonna say your name. I swear to God, if you watch my videos, I'm changing my name. Real quick, the first job I ever had was working at a produce store, which was where my sister was working, and she was like, yo, my little sister's looking for a job, and they're like, okay, she's hired. Literally did not get an interview. I was like, oh cool, first job, I'm 16. I'm gonna feel so bad if he sees this, but he kind of deserves to know. My first manager was this little man, sort of like an elf, like white hair, you know, too jolly for the atmosphere. It's a produce store. We played only classical music and it was always freezing. How do you think I felt? This manager would come up to everyone and you would see him like coming down the stairs from the office and like slowly walking towards you up to the register, and he would go, put his hand on your shoulder, Tiffany, come with me this way, let's check out the Adwala bars. And you're like, don't touch me, man. Oh God, like don't touch me for sure. So you'd like get him off your shoulder, walk over to the Adwala bars, and he'd go, do you see how this display is a little crooked? Let's grab this one right here. Turn it 20 degrees. Doesn't that look better? Doesn't that look a lot more presentable? And I'm like shaking with fury because I'm like, obviously I know. If you had just said, hey Tiffany, straighten all the rows in the displays, I'd be like, yeah sure, I get what you mean. But instead every single day he'd be like, Tiffany. And he smiles at you with this big smile and this eye contact that's way too strong, and you're just like, that's horrible. So let's talk about the job with all the stories. So I worked at a birthday party place. You guys know I've talked about this a few times. Basically, like blow up slides, bounce house, indoors, and we run birthday parties. So I got hired at this job because I love kids, love to play. It's a pretty cool time. Basically the way things work is like you're either in the arena with the kids, literally playing, like leading hide and seek, running around with them, making sure they're not beating each other up, which they did very often. Shockingly often. Or you're in the dining room setting up all the decorations that the parents brought, making sure everything's ready, putting out the chips in some bowls, and getting ready to serve pizza and soda to a bunch of kids. What's the first story I want to tell? Let's start at the beginning. During my like first week there, I was doing a party of 12-year-old boys. Let me tell you, this party place was best for ages like 3 to 10. So these kids are like 12, 13, and I'm like, yo, why are you here? You're not 8 years old. But whatever. It was a common thing for teenage parties to happen on the weekends, which is the most unfortunate thing. Like, not only are you working your Friday or Saturday night, but you get to work with teens who are a couple years younger than you, and they're horrible and they behave so badly. And also, these teen parties always show up with like one parent. Like obviously at the younger kids parties, most of the parents stay, so it's like half kids, half parents. But yeah, at these teen parties, it's all just teens. I love saying teens, just teens being teens. So I was new. This was like maybe one of my first parties that I was doing on my own. I was done with training pretty much. And I get this 12-year-old boy party. Probably like 25 12-year-old boys. What's worse than that? So right away, I know these kids are gonna be fucking with me. Like, they're gonna make my life fucking hell. Why? Why do you have to do that? I was in the arena with them, which means like I get to supervise them playing and try to make them follow the rules, which they're not gonna do because they're 12. So we have certain rules, like on the big giant slide, you know, you're not supposed to surf, you're supposed to like sit on your butt and just slide like a normal person. But obviously all the older kids, they like to surf, they like to do fucking flips, dangerous things. They all just kind of tackle each other and come down as a mound, and then people get hurt. And it's my job to make sure the kids don't get hurt. So I'm sitting there like, how do I control these kids? At this particular party, the kids were fucking assholes. I remember them coming up to me, because I'd be like, yo, like on the speaker, be like, yo, don't surf down the slide. And then they would surf and like look at me and I would like, kids, I swear. So I just kept repeating it over and over, and I like tried to talk to the one parent that was there. And I was like, hey, can you like make sure your kids? And they're like, no, I'm gonna go sit in the lobby. And I was like, oh, cool. I know it's my job, but like, help me. Like, I don't have any authority over your kids. And at one point, I like walked away for a second, probably to talk to like my supervisor up front and let them know how crazy they were being. Oh my God, another thing that they were doing was taking my microphone, which plays throughout the entire building, and yelling, penis! Penis. Of fucking course, 12-year-old boys are yelling penis. So as I'm up at the front talking to my supervisor, you can hear them yelling penis over the fucking loudspeakers. Luckily, we're the only party in the group by that time of the night, so like it was only them. But like obviously that's not okay in a children's birthday party center. So I'm just sitting there like having a breakdown. I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, when is this party over? And I go back inside my arena and I see them going down the slide with the fucking benches. What? We have benches that are like these like soft, big benches that you just sit on. And they're pretty heavy and they obviously don't go on the slide. They're literally like surfing on these benches on the slide. And I was like, oh my God. I just snapped. I got on the loudspeaker. I was like, are you kidding me? Everybody off the slide. Like total bitch mode, because what else are you supposed to do? Everybody get off the slide. I think I closed the slide even. Like I straight up like told them they couldn't go on it anymore. Yeah, I almost had a breakdown. That was pretty fucking horrible. Woo! Blood pressure is getting high. But other than that, I really did enjoy this job. I worked there for like 3 years and I got super into the swing of things. And as long as I was doing like pretty standard parties, it was nice, you know, like normal nice parents who don't bring too much stuff. They just bring some chips and some table covers, and I blow up some balloons. It's all good. I play fucking hide and seek with the kids. We jump around in the fucking bounce house. And it's a good time, okay? Okay, so my next story is just kind of like a general thing that would happen way too often. These were like the worst people that would come in. 1, parties that were super overdone. Now this is a party, like the whole point of like our service is like we'll take care of everything for you. You bring some stuff, we'll set it up for you, we'll serve the kids, we'll play with them in there, we'll make sure they're not getting hurt. Basically the parents are supposed to just come, bring the cake, sit down and relax. But of course, these like Pinterest moms and like crazy controlling parents would come in with like trucks full of stuff. Like straight up enough decorations to fill a fucking house when we've got like one dining room with like some picnic tables. And I'm like, oh, great. One time this family bought both party rooms. We have 2 party rooms and they ordered both of them and they didn't have a ton of people. So it was like 20 kids using up space that would usually be for like 60 people. I'm like, okay, that's not necessary, but like do what you want. You got the money. So we're like, okay, these people have money. We're gonna get good tips for these parties. It was also normal for people sometimes, if you're super over the top, to like maybe hire like a face painter or hire like a character to come, so like Spider-Man or like Anna and Elsa. I met Anna and Elsa like 10,000 times because Frozen was very popular at that point. So this party had a Spider-Man, and I just remember his like tights outfit was like way too tight and everybody could see his junk, and I was like, this is like a party for a 4-year-old. I feel uncomfortable. So anyway, I was setting up for this party and they had so much shit. We have a very small amount of time to do the setup, and if you have too much shit, like it's literally impossible for us to set everything up, especially with parents who are meticulous about where every single little item is. Ooh, I wish I had pictures. So I finally set up this party and I was like stressing, and then we get going, and my job when the party is going is like to pay attention to the kids and make sure they're not getting hurt and like not slipping on the fucking slippery floor, which happens a lot. So I'm out there like playing with the kids, and the mom comes up to me and she's like, why aren't you serving the parents? The parents are out there getting their own food. And I was like, first of all, it's not my job to serve the parents because they're adults. But I was like, oh, well, I'm just making sure the kids are okay. Like, did you want me to come serve the parents for a minute? I'm like, bitch, they're adults. She's like, no, it's fine. And I was like, god damn. Like, honestly, like, it's my job to be with the kids because all the parents are sitting here like eating snacks and not watching the kids. Maybe there should at least be like one person watching all these kids. Or are you gonna leave them with Spider-Man? And after that party, like literally working my fucking ass off, like 3 times as difficult as any other party in the same amount of time, still trying to get it all cleaned and packed up. Ooh, I could just go into all my pet peeves about this. Bad shit, that's all I can say. Let's jump into my last story. So for this one, I was in the dining room, which means I was only responsible for setting up the room, and when the kids were done playing, they would come in and I would serve them pizza and lemonade. So for this party, it was pretty standard, you know, chips, whatever, pizza, cake. So I set it all up and they come in, and the first thing I do with every single party is start serving pizza to the kids. And after that, the parents are welcome to come grab it. Then I'll start moving through the snacks, pass out chips and stuff to the kids. But basically it's my job to focus on the kids' table. Parents are free to help themselves. At this party, I grab the cheese pizza and I start to hand it out to the kids. I say, okay, raise your hand if you want cheese pizza. I start to pass it out, and this grandma comes up to me and literally yells at me in this room, and then it goes dead silent. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just serving some cheese pizza to the kids." She goes, "Why aren't you serving the pepperoni pizza?" And I go, "Well, I'm gonna serve the pepperoni next. I just served the cheese first." She's like, "Well, the kids want pepperoni and now you're giving them cheese and they're not gonna eat the pepperoni pizza." And I was like, holy shit. I was like, woman, first of all, I didn't say this, but I'm like, in my many years of serving pizza to kids, I know that most of the kids want cheese pizza. I've done this shit a million times. How many pizzas have been slung by your hands, woman? But I'm literally brimming with tears because she just fucking yelled in my face. Like, it's very rare that I would have an adult woman yell in my face as I'm serving like her grandkids over pizza. So I'm like, so I'm just like in shock, and like all the parents are just like, and I was like, this is so fucking uncomfortable. I cannot even believe that I just got yelled at by this woman. So I've got like little tears coming, and I just continue to pass out the pepperoni pizza, and she leaves the room. A couple minutes later, comes back up with my manager. My manager's like, "Hey Tiffany, like I'm gonna take over for you in here." And I was like, okay, and I leave, and I'm sure I started fucking crying. I started crying. Like, this is not something that I need to cry about, but I was just so shocked that someone had just yelled at me. And my manager was just like, you know, they were being like kind of rude to me too, but you've just gotta like, you just gotta deal with it. Like, there's gonna be tough parties sometimes, and you just have to like get through it and then get them out. Like, I'm sorry that that happened. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And like, incredible. Anyway, those are my worst customer stories. I really was lucky that I mostly had very enjoyable customers throughout my jobs. But there's always a few crazies. You can always count on that. And if they can make you cry at work, that's the best case scenario. Thank you guys for watching. Please request any other story times if you have any ideas, or comment below and let me know your worst customers, because I'm sure if you've ever had a job, you have stories to share. Thank you. That's all. Okay, thanks, bye. So the ultimatum I'm giving myself is 1 more year on YouTube.